What's going on, guys? Today I got a bike for free. It was sitting in the storage for several years, and when customer took it out, the battery was dead. The manufacturer battery is very expensive and out of stock. So customer just gave it to me. He said he will purchase a new bike, and if I wanted to part this one out. Well, this bike is too complete to part out, so let's see if we can turn it around and sell. Besides the battery, I do see surface rust all over the bike. I do see rusted chain, rusted derailleur, rusted cable, dead brake pads, and obviously the battery itself is shot. So let's disassemble and see what we're working with. This simple device saves a lot of time when trying to pull out rusted cable, or actually when you are adjusting and need to tighten the cable. Very simple but very effective. It took me some time to take the cable out because cable is very long, over 3 meters in length. And I'm gonna need to special order it because regular cables are about 2 meters. Chain also turned out to be super long, so I'm putting two chains together, and while I'm waiting for the rest of the parts that I ordered, we're gonna clean the bike to make it more presentable. And in terms of prices, I got two chains, $15 each, cable $15, two sets of brake pads, $10 in total. Here you can see the cable I got, so we're gonna snake that through, clean out the derailleur and preliminary adjust the gears. Obviously, to make it look factory, we're gonna put the end cap. I also decided to make some improvements and modernize the bike, so $25 got me a light with horn and set of buttons to it. So now all we gotta do is figure out where to connect it, because the original lighting was just battery operated and rotted away. Obviously we need to open the hood to gain access to the controller and figure out the wiring. Also, we need to figure out what wires from the buttons do what. So with our trusty multimeter, we're just gonna ring out the buttons and go from there. Once we got our answers, time to move on to most time-consuming operation on this repair. Untangling the wiring harness from the insulation and snaking the wires through. And since I'm removing the accessories from handlebars to install the buttons, I decided to rattle can the handlebars. Just go over it with 100 grit sandpaper, acetone clean, and flat black paint from the can. Psst, psst. Let my professional paint job dry. Meanwhile, we're gonna talk about the battery that I just got. I got all the necessary information off the plate on the case, voltage, watt hours, amp current, whatever was there. Measured the case to make sure the new battery pack will fit. Then I went to my trustworthy battery supplier and ordered me just a cell pack. Yes, of course it would need to be modified, but at least it will fit and I can make it work. Now comes the easy part, in quotation mark, of course. We're gonna cut the long wires, extend the short wires, we're gonna solder the lock, solder the battery indicator, solder the charger, and every step of the way we're gonna test and retest. There have been many cases where I've seen that the red wire would be ground and black would be positive, and we don't want a kaboom in the garage. So we're just gonna test and retest and verify every step of the way. When it's done, no injuries, no explosion, we are ready to move on to snaking the light wires and trying to connect them to the bike. Using an old brake cable with magnet, push that whole thing through, attach wires with electrical tape onto the end and pull it down through the frame, and voila, you're ready to connect. Since the original bike did not have dedicated wires to light, I will walk you through my thought process, hopefully easy to understand. If not, stop me and I will repeat the process again. Red wire from the controller with the constant power goes through on-off button and returns with the blue wire. When the bike is on, the blue wire has power. Since we already tested wires at the buttons, we're gonna take two incoming wires from those buttons and solder it onto a blue wire coming out from on-off button. Two outgoing wires from the buttons we're gonna attach to light and a horn, and the ground we will take from the controller and attach it to the light. Everything was done through connector, so you can remove the light, remove the buttons, and making it look like a professional was working here. After everything checked out, assembled the bike and took it for a spin. The odometer shows 245 miles and it goes to 28 miles an hour. Shifts, rides good, a little bit of surface rust here and there, but cleaned out pretty well. The total cost with the battery turned out to be $190, including everything. Labor was about 6 hours in total. Took me a week to put it together, and I put it on the Facebook for $500. In a couple of days, I got offer for $400, sold it, and put $200 profit in the pocket. Thank you for watching, and take care.